Hi, I'm Emily of Minor DIY, and today we're crafting one of my absolute favorite holiday treasures, a twist and pop card. When you unfold this beauty, you'll reveal a stunning silhouette of Santa Claus with his reindeer and sleigh soaring across the sky. Don't worry if this is your first twist and pop card. I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Let's get started. I've started a new project in Design Space, and of course, the first step is always to upload your SVG. Click on that green Upload Image button, and I always have mine saved to the desktop. I have a 12 Days of Christmas Paper Crafts folder where I'm going to put all the projects in. You can download this folder and other ones from my website for free. So just drag my SVG into Design Space, and then click on the Continue button, upload, and we'll zoom out so we can see the whole thing. It should pull in as exactly the right size. So of course, the first step is always to ungroup. And now we'll go over the pieces of the card. Here you have the black silhouette of Santa, the sleigh, and the reindeer. The gold silhouette behind it is optional, and usually I prefer not to use it, but sometimes you might want to. It does help the reindeer pop a little bit more. And then we have the inside of our card, the twist and pop mechanism here. This dark blue part is the card base, and then the cover and the back cover. Let's zoom in here and go up to the sleigh. There's only a few adjustments that we need to make to the SVG for the center banner, for the reindeer, and also the back, the base, if you're going to be using that for the center banner. We need to change these lines right here. You can see them going up and down into score lines. So right here, and these three lines, right now they say basic cut. We just need to change them to score. Click on the top layer to select both the score lines and the reindeer, the cut piece, and click Attach. Do the same thing for the gold if you're going to be using that. Select, score, highlight, attach. Okay, now those two pieces are ready. Let's move them out of the way just a little bit more over there. And these pieces don't have to be used. I'll show you some examples later of where we use them and where we don't. This is the twist and pop mechanism, which is the key component of our card. It's very important to fold this piece correctly and have deep score lines. So I've actually made 2 lines that will be changing into score lines so that we get an extra deep score line. Click on the first cut line. Hold down your Shift key and then click on the second one. And now go up to your Operations menu and choose Score. Click on the group name to highlight all 3 pieces in it, and then click that Attach button. And now that piece is ready to be cut. There's no changes needed for the inside 2 pieces. Here we have the cover, and nothing needs to be changed here. Same with the back cover. However, the base, I am going to hold down my Shift key and then just pop this out. Back up a little bit. Move it down here. So this piece, the base of the card, right now has a cut piece in the center. And again, we want to change that one to Score, highlight, and attach. Great, and let's go ahead and send this one all the way to the back. And now our card is ready to be cut out. Click the green Make It button. So we have our house piece cutting out of light gray, and same with the outline of the chimney. And of course, you can cut these pieces out of whatever colors you like. For the smoke, I used a silver silkworm paper that I got in Lynette's Happy Mail subscription box. It was one of the mystery papers, and it's really cool. I did have to use the fabric rotary blade to cut it. Alternatively, you could just cut it by hand. I also tried using vellum for the smoke. However, I didn't like the way it looked after attaching it to the cardstock. The next mat is the sleigh and reindeer and the window pane. For the silhouette, I highly recommend cutting it out of the Serio Ultra Black cardstock. You can see in this photo here how a textured black paper looks, a regular smooth black paper, and then the ultra black. And if you twist it just slightly, you can get it under 3 inches here. And then I also put that window up there. Again, the ultra black. I think the window pane just looks best when it is out of black. So here's those 2 elements. And now it is ready to be cut out of one 3-inch strip of 12 by 12 cardstock. Here we have the front and back covers. A few cover options here include this pearlescent silky cardstock. It's called Fair Blue. Here we have a mermaid color, multicolor glitter cardstock from Encore. Then for another pearlescent cardstock by Nina Stardream, which is Lapis Lazuli. The Starry Sky one is a specialty American Crafts glitter cardstock, and we also have an Encore Glitter Luxe cardstock in the color Oasis. Here we have the chimney, and there are so many different paper options for the chimney. Some of my favorites, which may only be available in Lynette's Happy Mail subscription box, are copper leather paper, a red tin roof paper, and finally, the Miri Lava holographic red paper. Here we have the roof, and most of the roof is covered up, so it is best just to use a plain matte piece of cardstock. Nothing shiny or fancy. Here we have the background of the sleigh. And again, I just tilted it a little bit to make it just a little bit smaller. I do also have the golden glowing window here, and you could cut it out of the same thing if you like, or you can cut it out of a different piece of cardstock, of course. From left to right, we have Encore's Golden Glow matte foil cardstock, then Encore's Golden Treasure sequin glitter cardstock, a pearlescent cardstock called Fine Gold, and Miri Lava holographic rose gold cardstock. And here we have the icicles hanging down off the roof. On the left, we have Miri Metals Mercury silver foil board. Next, we have Encore silver matte foil. Then the Encore sequin glitter silver coins. And finally, another pearlescent cardstock in quartz from Nina Stardream. On this mat, we have the twist and pop mechanism, along with the inside of the card, if you're going to use it. And here we have the base of the card. Let's go ahead and cut out the silhouette first. So you can see we're going to have the score and the basic cut, so that is correct. The Ultra Black is a heavier cardstock, and I found that the regular cardstock for intricate cuts doesn't quite cut through. So I just use the heavy cardstock setting. And I always just use the scoring stylus, so I never have to switch tools. But of course, you can also use the scoring wheel if you prefer. This project has lots of small, intricate cuts, so it's especially important that you use a nice, clean, and sticky mat. Make sure you adhere your cardstock evenly to the mat by using a brayer. After you've cut out your pieces, flip the mat over and use your scraper to hold the paper and the pieces on your work surface while you slowly peel the mat away from the project. The pieces are quite small, so you might have to carefully take them out the larger piece of paper. First, we'll assemble the cover of the card. 12 by 12 cardstock now carries my favorite glue, which is the Beacon's 3-in-1 crafting glue. This is my favorite glue because it doesn't dry instantly. Instead, it stays wet and it allows you to kind of slide it perfectly into place. See that here? So I just slide and now I'm even putting that edge against the bottom of my work surface so I can align it perfectly. First, put on the house and then the roof. And I've designed these pieces so that they all butt up exactly next to each other. So no overlapping on these pieces. Just slide them right into place, right against the edge and against the next piece. Now, glue the window into place. Next, we'll put on the chimney. And I absolutely love this red tin roof paper. And the copper leather paper also works really well. I just love the texture on that. And again, just slide it right into place against the roof line. Now I'm going to glue on the window pane. The one negative thing about this glue, it does kind of leave these strings. However, it is quite easy to remove them with one of these rubber erasers, which I'll show you. Now we have the outline of the bricks. And if you don't like this glue, you can also use a dot tape runner or Barely Art glue, which has a very, very fine precision tip. And now the icicles. And I always love to have one of the specialty papers for the icicles, just to make them shiny and three-dimensional. The icicles are designed so that they go just over the top of the roof, so they cover that seam. I was going to use the vellum on this card. However, after gluing it onto other sample cards, I just didn't like the way it looked with the glue. So I swapped it to the spiderweb paper, which I absolutely love. And our card cover is complete. Next, we'll do the inside of the card. First, we'll do the banner. These pieces of paper are so fine that I'm not even using my bone folder to burnish along the edges. I'm just doing a quick fold now. After the banner is assembled, then we will fold them sharply into place. After folding, just so you can see those crease lines, glue the silhouette onto the background. Now, fold your banner so that you have a mountain fold in the middle and valley folds on the two edges. Next, burnish along the score line on the base of your card. This cardstock is very textured and shiny, and it was difficult to see score lines on the front of the paper, so I just flipped the paper over on my mat before cutting and scoring it with my Cricut. So the score lines were on the smooth side. I fold along the score lines and then burnish them sharply into place. Burnish along one score line, flip it over, fold the paper the opposite direction, and burnish again. Do this on each of the score lines on the mechanism. So fold and burnish, flip, fold and burnish in the opposite direction. Next, we'll glue the mechanism into the card. Now, I have glued these in incorrectly before, so make sure the side of the paper that matches the inside of the card is facing up. I'm holding this triangle into place while I fold the mechanism over in half, and the matte side will be what's glued to the card. So pinch both sides of the mechanism so that it folds in, and the area that you're going to glue, which is the matte side of the paper, faces out. After you have it in the right position, burnish sharply along the whole mechanism. Here I am checking once again to make sure that I have the correct side of the paper up before I put glue on both of the triangles. Center the mechanism and then close the card to glue the mechanism into place. I always open it and slide it a little bit to ensure that it's positioned properly. Then hold the card closed to let the glue dry. Now we'll glue the banner into place. If you're worried about getting the position of the banner just right, use blue painter's tape before you glue it into place. One piece of tape goes on the top right of the mechanism, and the other goes on the bottom left. Position the banner right in the center of the card. The center score line of the banner should go right in the middle over that X. Then fold it up to see how it works. Now you can see here, I don't have any of the banner sticking out, so it's good to be glued in this position. Hold down the banner while you take off the blue tape one piece at a time and replace that blue tape with glue. Be sure not to get any of the glue on the opposite side of the score line. Repeat on the other side, carefully removing the tape and replacing that small area with a dab of glue. Then, before the glue dries, fold up your card and ensure that the banner is still not sticking out. If it happens to be, simply open the card just a tiny little bit and slide the banner back into the card a little bit more. To finish the card, simply glue the cover on. I do like to do this step last because, again, I have glued them on upside down. And this version of the card is done. This version uses the outline of the silhouette and does not use the extra inside pieces of the card. Now I'll show you a slightly different version. In this version, I'll use the blue matte foil board for both the mechanism and for the inside. I still have a red base piece. Again, I burnish on all sides of the mechanism piece, folding, burnishing, folding the opposite direction, and burnishing again. Burnish the card base piece. Put the mecum into place, pretty side up. Hold the triangle where it will be glued, and then fold the mechanism up. Burnish so that it's flat. Then put glue on both triangles. Fold the card up to glue the mechanism into place. For this card, we're using the extra inside pieces so that Santa Claus is silhouetted against a plain blue background. Simply glue the top and bottom pieces into place. Slide them up so they butt up against the mechanism. Fold the silhouette of the sleigh and reindeer into a W, making sure that the center goes out. Glue the banner down with a drop of glue on the top right and bottom left corners of the mechanism. Fold the card up and slide the banner if necessary. I do always open and close my cards several times just to ensure that I don't glue the banner to the inside of the card. For the cover of this card, I am using the same matte blue foil board. So first, we glue on this house piece right up against the edge. Then the roof piece, again, right up against the edge, and the piece you just glued on. Next is the window, which has been cut out of the Gold Treasure sequin glitter cardstock. Next is the chimney, which I've cut out of copper leather paper. I absolutely love using a textured paper for the chimney. The brick outline gets glued on over the chimney bricks. The black window pane covers the seam between the house and the window. And the icicles are glued on top of the roof. I put a really thick layer of glue trying to make the vellum less transparent on it. However, that didn't really work and it didn't look great either. So if possible, I would just order the silkworm paper for the smoke. Now, all we have to do is glue on the cover to the card base, and our card is completed. Wow, look how pretty and shiny it is. It's even prettier in person. If you enjoyed making this type of card, check out my Twist, Pop, and Wow workshop. You'll learn how to design and assemble these captivating cards, creating a sense of awe and surprise for anyone who receives them. You'll learn how to transform various styles of pop-out banners into unforgettable messages.